Hello, this is the Watchdog. Welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Naviforce 8080. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Huber Royal Diver. I just unboxed this watch. If you haven't seen the unboxing video, be sure to check it out. And Greg was wearing my Podagar 839. I just reviewed that watch. So if you haven't seen the review yet, be sure to check it out. Greg said that Trailer Sith is releasing a new concept album that she recorded on Hoth, where she studied the native wildlife and how hard they have it on that brutal system. It's called The Strife of a Snow Squirrel. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. It did not come in a box. I could have got a box for an extra $3, but I think I'd save the $3, which you're not going to get a good box. But here it is. It's nice looking. I've been happy wearing it. This is the 6th Naviforce on my channel. Naviforce makes very affordable quartz watches, all featuring the stylized Naviforce letter N logo as a second-hand counterbalance. This 8080 is a small seconds chronograph featuring the Panda version of the PE90 movement, which gives you a 24-hour hand in lieu of sub-seconds. It's tempting to call this a PRX homage due to the integrated strap design, but when you look at it side by side, there are vast differences, as the PRX chronograph does not have a tachymeter, plus the PRX has rectangular pushers instead of the round ones of this Naviforce. This watch costs $35 at the time of this review, and for an extra $3 you can get it in a box. This watch comes in 8 different colorways. If you want a chrome-plated case, you can get Panda and Reverse Panda on a black strap. Or you can have gray, green, or blue with a matching strap. There's a black case with gray or black subdials. Or if gold is your thing, there is rose gold with black dial and strap with rose gold subdials. The watch is 42 millimeters at the case, 48.9 millimeters long. It's only 11.4 millimeters thick, so it's fairly thin. The lug width does not apply, but 26 millimeters where the strap meets the case, and tapers down to 18 at the buckle, and weighs 72 grams on the supplied silicone strap. The bezel is smooth and polished because the tachymeter is on the inner bezel. And yes, this is a small seconds chronograph with a tachymeter, but technically you can still use the tachymeter. You just take the seconds that you count and then you just move it up to here, and then you can still use it. So it's just not as slick as if it was a large second. So I guess I'm going to stop complaining about small seconds with tachymeters, because you still can use them. Not that you're ever going to use them, but you still can. Then we have the dial. Let me zoom in a little and show you. See, the dial's textured. It's a nice texture look. I like the dial. I think the dial is one of the highlights of this watch. And then we have the indices. We got a double at the 12, singles everywhere else, and where the subdials are, they're short. And then it says Naviforce up top, water resistant 30 meters. So you just get the basics, but at least you don't get any silly writing, such as keep up with global fashion. And then you have the hands. We have stick hands, minute and hour. And then we have the second hand, and we have the Naviforce logo as a counterbalance. And that seems to be common on all Naviforce watches. Then we have a date at the 4:30. A lot of people don't like dates at the 4:30. I don't mind them. They're fine. I'd rather have a date than no date. Would have been nice if it was color matched though, but then again, at this price, you're not going to get that. Then we have the subdials. This is a PE90, so we have the chronograph second hand on the bottom. We have 24-hour hand on the right, and then we have the chronograph minute counter on the left. To use the chronograph, just hit the top pusher, and then it starts ticking away. You do not get sub-seconds on this version of the PE90. They do make a PE90 with sub-seconds, but on that case, the layout's different. Then press the bottom to reset it. And this is not a Mecha Quartz, so you get a fast rewind, not an instant snapback. Then the crown is actually signed. It's a push-pull. And see, you can set it without jumping. PE90s are usually pretty good for that. Then we have the crystal, just flat mineral glass. You don't get sapphire in this price range. And then we have the case. The case is chrome plated alloy. You don't get steel usually in this price range either. But the case is nice. As you can see, the lugs slope down, so it fits nice and flat on the wrist. And we do have split pins that hold the strap in. But if you look, you might be tempted to think a PRX strap might fit this, but here, let me show you a PRX strap I have. And as you can see, it's not the exact same shape, but you might be able to make it work. You're probably better off with leather though, because it's just more flexible than this plastic. Then we have the case back. We have the Naviforce name and logo in the middle. Then it says For Dream. So I guess we do get some silly writing, but at least it's on the case back and not the dial. Then it says stainless steel back, which is a good indication that the rest is not. Then it says unique design, and yeah, it's kind of derivative, but it's also, I guess, I don't think it's an homage. Then it says water resistant 3 ATM, made in China. 2401. I don't know what the 2401 means. Underneath the case back is the PE90 Quartz movement. This is a small seconds chronograph movement, and like I said, there's two variants. We have the panda layout, which is the 24-hour subdial, or we have the vertical layout where we have a sub-seconds up top. So I do like the visual appeal of the panda more than the vertical, but it is nice to have the sub-seconds of the vertical. I wish they'd make a PE90 where we have sub-seconds instead of the 24-hour hand here, but I've never seen that. Then we have the strap. Strap is silicone, and it's soft, it's squishy, and it's slick. This doesn't seem to be the best grade of silicone. I've seen better, but it's not awful. I mean, it's comfortable. Then we have two keepers, one fixed, one floating. The fixed one's held on by these little nibs, and it does a fairly good job. Then we have the buckle sign, prongs good. And then we also have this inner texture of the strap, so it breathes a little bit better. So then it says Naviforce there. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice, that wears nice, it's nice and flat. And I have 4 notches left on the strap, so that means they'll fit 8.5-inch wrists. So I went ahead and gave this the Joe Haynes seal of approval. And if you do need a little bit of room, you could probably cut one more notch in it. Here we're in the loom room. Nobody expects great loom from a watch in this price range, but sometimes we get decent loom. So let's see what we got. As we sort the time, we see a green glow, but everything starts fading fairly fast, with the baton indices already just about gone. Although the hands are much better than the weak indices, they just don't last much longer as both hands peter out. This loom is below so-so. What I like about this watch, it looks and wears nice. I like this textured dial. And the strap will fit 8.5-inch wrists. What are my grapes and groans? It is kind of expensive for a PE90 powered chronograph. The loom is inadequate, and this silicone strap feels cheap. It's just slick and squishy. Do I recommend this watch? Yeah, at 35 bucks, it's kind of expensive for a PE90 powered watch, but it does look and wear nice. So if you like the look of it, I mean, I don't think that's a ridiculous amount to spend. So sure, I recommend it. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Naviforce 8080, and I'll be back with the unboxing. I have 2 things arriving today from AliExpress. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, I'll leave an affiliate link. And if you buy it through that link, I get a tiny, tiny commission. But those tiny, tiny commissions do add up. And that's how I'm able to purchase some of the nicer watches for this channel. such as the Squally and the Steinhardt. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. Here you are. Last time I looked, there was 11 of you, and I still haven't sold the latest Members Choice watch. Probably gonna have to lower the price, $10, and see what happens. Bye.